Hello, in this video we'll talk about why word forms matter and how to distinguish between different forms of a word to help you in your academic writing. So let's take a look at the sentences below and see if you can spot the errors. So the discovery of the Iceman revelation, many ancient secrets about early human life. Yeah, revelation should be a verb, right? It should be revealed. And then the Iceman's clothing was made from material that reflected the traditional of his time. Yeah, traditional. It should be traditions. And then the Iceman's remains were found in a harshly environment that helped preserve his body. Yeah, harshly should be harsh, should be an adjective. So let's look at some key concepts in relation to word forms and vocabulary. So the first one is parts of speech. And parts of speech refer to categories that show how words work in a sentence. And each category is associated with a particular role. So nouns, for example, name things, verbs show actions, and adjectives describe things, and other words connect ideas, right? And all of these different parts of speech are important to build clear and correct sentences in English. So related to parts of speech are word forms. So they are different versions of a word depending on the part of speech. So the same meaning of the root, but realized as different parts of speech. And a word family are all the words in a group that have the same root and are different parts of speech. So let's apply these concepts to some examples. So if you look at interact, it's a verb, right? So it's part of speech. And if we change the part of speech by adding ION, we convert interact into a noun. And then if we replace that ending ION with IEF, we have an adjective that's part of the same word family. And then if we add ly to interactive, we turn the adjective into an adverb. As we saw in the example, adding letters to a word changes things, and these groups of letters are called affixes. And there are two kinds. A prefix goes before the word, and it's a group of letters at the beginning of the word that change the meaning. So you can see some common prefixes here on the slide. The second kind is a suffix, and a suffix refers to a group of letters at the end of the word, and it can change the meaning or change the word form. So full and less are examples of two suffixes that change the meaning in careful and careless. But for the rest of the video, we'll focus on those suffixes that change the word form. So let's take a look and see how affixes can help us identify word forms and also correct errors of noun-verb confusions. So in this example sentence, let's take a look. So the Iceman's tools show the create of early hunting technology. So we know that tools is a subject, show is the verb, so create must be a noun, but we have a verb here. So we can use a noun suffix to change create into the noun that we need, which is creation. So in green here, you see some common verb and verb form suffixes. You can just pause the video and take a careful look. And then in pink, you see some noun suffixes. So you see tion that we use to convert create into creation, and many other ones. So let's look at word forms from our Unit 2 target vocabulary and see how these verb and noun suffixes work to identify these parts of speech. So take a look. Next, let's examine some adjective and noun confusions. So in the first sentence, the Iceman wore clothing made from tradition materials. We have tradition, a noun before materials, and an adjective which would be much better. In the second sentence, we see the Iceman's tools give us clues about early human natural, and we don't have a noun after about, so we have to convert natural into nature. And in the box in green, you see some common adjective suffixes. So you see less and full, as we saw earlier, and many other ones. So pause the video to take a careful look. Next, let's look at adjective and adverb confusions. So let's look at the first example sentence. So the Iceman was found in a coldly region that helped preserve his body. So before a noun, we need an adjective, right? Not an adverb. So we need to transform this adverb into the adjective cold. And in sentence 2, you can see the scientists carefully examined the Iceman's belongings. So we have careful before a verb, and we know we need an adverb there. So we can use the affix ly to transform it into carefully. So the most common adverb affixes are here on the screen. You'll know ly, but whys and word are also used. Next, let's take a look at some common noun form confusions due to the use of the wrong affix. In sentence 1, we see the rapid creator of new digital platforms has reshaped global communication. So we see creator referring to a person, whereas we need creation referring to the process. Second, we see the modernity of rural areas depends on access to digital infrastructure. So we see modernity identifying a state, whereas we need modernization referring to the process. Sentence 3, we see technological produce has increased in response to global demand. So we see produce referring to vegetable and fruits, but actually we need production, the process of producing products. And we see in sentence 4, the transformer of society through AI is a major topic in current research. We have transformer, again, a person, but we need the process again. Finally, we look at the confusion between ed and ing adjectives. So the ed adjectives refer to feelings and emotions caused by something or someone. So you can see, for example, many workers feel worried about losing their jobs to automation. And young people are excited about the possibilities of smart technology. So in sentence 1, it's the automation that makes the workers feel worried. And in sentence 2, it's smart technology that makes the young people feel excited. On the other hand, ing adjectives refer to characteristics causing an emotion or reaction. So in example 1, we see the automation is worrying development that affects job security, and smart technology is an exciting part of modern cities. So in both cases, the ing refers to the development and the part denoting them as those aspects that cause an emotion or a reaction. Thank you so much for listening and watching this video, and I hope that you learned some new things about affixes and suffixes in particular.